It's opening day at Belmont Park as we close out another tremendous Saratoga meet last Monday. Jockey Jose Ortiz added another title to his resume and will look to keep that momentum today with Rubelinda in the feature. There have been rumblings that she's the goods, but can she live up to the hype in her biggest test yet? One person that did meet expectations is trainer Todd Pletcher. He clinched his 13th training title at Saratoga after watching it slip away last year. He'll send out Adorable Miss to try and beat Rubelinda today, but she'll have to prove she can do more with less distance, that is. Well, welcome to Belmont Park Live, presented by Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. It's yet another beautiful day here at Belmont Park. Picture perfect day and excellent racing still to come with an exciting feature, the Christie Cat Stakes. I'm Gabby Gaudette, joined by the New York Racing Association's Andy Serling and four-time All-Star Paul LaDuca. Guys, it felt like we were just doing this yesterday.
I know, it feels like we just left Saratoga, but it's a different venue. Same deal. Nice to be here with you guys and a beautiful day at Belmont.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day. You forget how beautiful of a spot we got here with the horses right behind us. And like you said, the weather has cooperated. And I think, you know, that turf race, you're going to see some stars. Now, obviously, Rubelinda is the focus point. There's some other nice little fillies and mares in there, too.
No, I agree. The Christie Cat's always a good race here, our opening day feature at Belmont. And I like how we have the risk-averse, a Fox Ridge Farm, and Christie Cat, same connections, two stakes almost back-to-back, Saratoga to Belmont.
Yeah, of course, Rubelinda is going to have to showcase her goods later today, but it's going to be an exciting rendition of the Christie Cat. We'll take a look at our track and weather conditions. As previously mentioned, it's a beautiful day. We are fast and firm, again, getting into the low 70s. And we'll take a look at the lineup today of those races that we will be bringing you. We're going to be bringing you a bevy of competitive racing, and starting with the 6th race. This is a claiming race at 6 furlongs, followed by a nice allowance optional claimer. That's for those New York breds on the turf course. And of course, the Christie Cat. This is our highlight of the day, and capping off the day with a nice maiden claiming event. That is race 9. So a lot to look forward to. And we're getting to the post parade here now as they are heading out to the track. We'll start off with the 1A, guys, and that is the 1A Conquest Twister. First off, the claim for David Jacobson.
The weaker half of the entry on paper, but David Jacobson chooses to run this one off the claim. Will need to improve off his last.
And there's a look at the 2 Story to Tell. Draws the rail today for Rudy Rodriguez.
Yeah, deserving favorite. And you go back and you look at this horse. He's been claimed from 40 and 32 in the back. But is he going backwards? I don't know if 3-2 is the right price.
3-2, your heavy favorite. The second choice in the wagering is the 3 Tale of E. Dubai. First off, the claim for Michelle Nevin.
Michelle Nevin will have to get this horse back to his races this spring. If she does that, he will be tough to beat.
Moving along, scratch the 4 and the 5. We'll pick it up with the 6 at 8-1 Power Nap for Antonio Arriaga.
I think this horse has a little bit of a shot. Hear me out now. A couple good races in a sloppy racetrack, turf. I think that horse wanted nothing. And then last race was a lot better, so I think the 6 could improve today.
Another first off the claim. That's for trainer Chad Summers. The 7, Monty Man, right now at 5-2.
We'll see if coming off the claim, if Chad Summers can get him to run his last race, the only race he's ever run that gives him a chance.
Well, before we dive into the action here and get to this race, I wanted to remind everybody about the Naira Bet sign-up. You can start betting from home with a new Naira Bets account. Join today and earn a $100 new member sign-up bonus when you enter live at sign-up. Getting the bonus is easy. Just bet $100 in 14 days and you'll get $100 in your account. Go to NairaBets.com for more information. Well, guys, we start things off, and Paul, I believe you took a slice out of the pick 4. Let's see it.
Yeah, I took a shot here. I think you need to go all in. And the reason why is I actually think the 1A and the 6 were the 2 horses I could bet in here. I could bet Power Nap. Is Power Nap the longest shot on the board? Yes, but I think he's got an outside shot. Go all the way to race number 8. I think the 2 fillies you have to beat in there, by far, Rubelinda and Epping Forest. She's very talented, maybe a little unlucky to lose to Morticia, who seems like the common rival of all these horses. Good luck in race 9. Light your candle, because I don't know who to play in there. I know, Andy, you like the 1 a little bit. I like Beltani. Thaddeus, I'm not in love with. There's some horses you can use in the last.
I could use 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 10 in the last.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, that's a very interesting sequence there, as a lot of people could potentially be leaning on Rubelinda. So we'll see what happens there as we catch in with another member of our team, Maggie Wolfendale, standing by.
And Gabby, I got a good look at these horses in the paddock as well as warming up here out on the track as we're currently 3 minutes to post here. I want to start, though, with the inside runner. That is your favorite. That's Story to Tell. And he's coming off a little bit of a freshening here for Rudy Rodriguez. And I will say that it's one of the best times I've seen this horse appear physically. He's put his weight on. His coat is much better than what I've seen from him in the past. And I like what I see from him out on the track as well. So I'm fairly optimistic about what I see from the even money favorite in Story to Tell, but that is a short price on a horse who looks as though his form isn't quite heading in the right direction. Same can be said, though, for the horse that would be my pick in here from the physicality standpoint, number 3, Tale of E Dubai. Michelle Nevin picked him up out of his last race, which was a turf start going 5.5 at Saratoga, but not that he looked poor in that effort whatsoever. He's just improved physically. Obviously, he's going to have to improve his form, too, as he returns to the dirt here. But he's a horse that, going back to his earlier races of 2017, certainly had a bit of speed. Manny Franco took him away from the pony. He got an exuberant warm-up, and he just looks as though he has go on his mind today. He's very much on the muscle in the paddock. His hind quarters look a bit stronger, that propulsion that he'll need from pushing away from the gate. So I like what I see from Tale of E Dubai. Obviously, Michelle's going to have to turn his life around. His last 3 efforts do not make him a player whatsoever, but I'm sure a lot of people are banking on that. And really quick, just to remind everybody that the horse that Paulie likes in here, Power Nap, gets Fergal Lynch aboard, Gabby, and Fergal's teamed up with this horse for some pretty nice efforts in the past.
Great stuff, Maggie. Thank you very much. As we take a look at the 3, though, Tale of E Dubai, and Maggie brought up some good points here, guys, that this horse has been getting a good warm-up. And what do you do with a horse like this, especially with the scratch of the 4 and 5, 2 horses who both figured to be forwardly placed?
You have to hope that the rider, Manny Franco, is aggressive. And I think one of the reasons, Paul, that Manny had such successful Saratoga meet is he was aggressive. Yes. The question with this horse is whether or not off the claim Michelle Nevin get this horse back to its races this spring, which would make him very tough.
Makes him tough. It makes him really tough in here. And I'm wondering if that one Laurel race on the yielding racetrack on the turf fooled them a little bit, because he just went awry since then. And now off the claim from Michelle. And usually when they drop in class, they show their old speed. And that's what he's going to have to do here to wire this field.
Going to have to try to wire.
Yeah.
We'll see if the speed ends up being good. It's ambiguous watching the other races. But the way the money is coming in on the 2 Story to Tell, I think that is telling a story.
I get it. But I'm also with Maggie that this horse could be going backward. I don't know if you want to take even money or 6 to 5 on a horse that keeps regressing and regressing on a drop for a very good trainer.
No, this is something that Gabby and I talked about earlier with Story to Tell. Obviously, we know his merits.
Yes.
He could easily win this race. But his last 2 races, better horses or not, he were just complete non-efforts. He did no running whatsoever.
I think the horse that's overbet is the horse on the screen is the 7. I mean, you see the 2 going in. It's the 7. I mean, I respect Chad Summers, the whole 9 yards. It's a heady claim. But this horse, I mean, ran 17 points faster than ever. He should bounce regardless who claimed him.
I wouldn't bet a nickel on this horse at any price close to 2 to 1. We'll get him the winner's circle.
Yeah.
It's also going to be interesting in what kind of speed he employs today, because he was fast last time out.
He showed speed last time, a surprising speed, but a surprising effort as well.
All right, well, we'll see how it all unfolds as we bring you the first race of opening day on Belmont Live. We set it up to New York Racing Association's Larry Colmus for the load and call.
Monty Man moving up to the outside stall, goes in, and they're all in line, ready for a start. They're off. And it's Tale of E Dubai who comes out running on the lead. Tale of E Dubai to the front from Story to Tell. Monty Man on the outside. Now goes up and takes second up the backstretch. And then it's Conquest Twister. Power Nap last of the 5 as they make their way into the turn. Tale of E Dubai taken on by Monty Man. And these 2 are a half length apart as they make their way around the far turn. They complete the first quarter in 22.69 seconds. Conquest Twister is third, 3 lengths off the lead. Story to Tell pushed along to go fourth on the inside by 5, and Power Nap is the trailer. Around the far turn, Tail of Dubai shakes away to an almost 2-length lead here. Monty Man is second. His Story to Tell gains ground on the inside. Conquest Twister comes 3 wide. Power Nap is still last. The half 45.65 seconds. They're into the stretch. Tail of Dubai comes down to the 8th pole in front. A 2.5-length lead. Conquest Twister on the outside is next. On the inside, Story to Tell. Power Nap from the back of the pack has made good progress and is closing in the center. He was last and he's coming after Tail of Dubai. Tail of Dubai's holding on to the lead. Tail of Dubai to win. A photo for second between Power Nap and Story to Tell. Conquest Twister was fourth in 1 minute 10.71 seconds.
Well, saved by the wire. The Cavalry Charge was trying to get him, but Tail of Dubai successfully went wire to wire and revived off the claim for Michelle Nevin.
And was able to control the race.
Yeah.
And when you're able to control the race, it gives you a distinct advantage. And when you have a good trainer like Michelle Nevin, good things happen.
Yeah, you know, sometimes these type of horses get brave. This horse hasn't gotten to the front end in a while. Those are decent fractions, 45 and change for this type of race here. The 2 sort of sucked up third here. The 6 ran really nice, but the 2 horses that ran 1-2 were dead the best in here. So we're going to see the head on. The 3 gets away cleanly. Watch the 6 out of the gate. You know, sort of hops a tiny bit, and then watch right here get steadied and squeezed. Right there, we're going to miss it a little bit, but he sort of got bumped around a tiny bit.
For a race where the pace held together, the 6 obviously ran well to be second because not only the trouble, he was way back when they hit the top of the stretch.
Yeah, he was. But a good job, like you said, Gabby. Manuel Franco, aggressive. Michelle Nevin getting the speed. We always talk about the drop in class. The speed came back to this horse.
Absolutely, and we did see an aggressive ride by Manny Franco, but of course Michelle Nevin, she's not scared for her horses to show a little bit of speed.
No, Michelle does an excellent job, and this is a nice claim by Vinny Scuderi. They dropped a little bit, but a $53,000 purse. They get about $32,000 for the win, so even if the horse got claimed, they come out big winners, and I doubt he was claimed.
No, I doubt he was claimed, but this is somewhere they can move forward. This horse, the first time he's been in a claiming spot in a long time, this could give him some confidence.
And I'll tell you something else out of this race. I would want to bet against the 2, Story to Tell, even if they drop a little bit next time. How could he not be second in this race?
And then I think this is a lesson for a lot of handicappers and a lot of young handicappers. When a horse keeps dipping and dipping for a very good trainer, it's for a reason. It's just the bottom line. I understand you look at some owners where they're like, okay, they can dump stock because they have a lot.
Dropping for a win in Saratoga when the owners are Claiborne Titles is a completely different thing than this.
Yes.
Exactly. A good point there, guys. Story to Tell. Not great there as the 8-5 favorite, but well, what a summer it has been. We saw some incredible performances at Saratoga and made a few memories. And in the meantime, we broke some records.
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase, he won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe, running a 105 Beyer and winning by open lengths. Mastery, new for 2018 at Claiborne Farm.
Naira Bets is the best play in online horse racing and betting. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions. Sign up now. NairaBets.com.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live, and yet again another picture-perfect day. That's a look at the winner here of the 6th race, the 3 Tale of Dubai. First off the claim for trainer Michelle Nevin. And straight into the winner's circle, this 4-year-old colt by Dubai. And, well, savvy claim there, guys.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, that's what, and Vinny Scuderi's been in the game a long time as a claiming owner. That's what the good claiming outfits do. They look for horses that have back form, and they have the kind of trainers that can help get them back to that good form.
And if you look at the back form on this colt, he's run well on mud, he's run well on fast tracks, he's run well at parks, he's run okay on the turf, he's run well at Laurel, now he's won a race at Belmont. He's very versatile, so you got to give the horse a ton of credit. Dubai, very underrated sire. Fort Larned, he was a sire at Fort Larned. They shipped him away and out of the U.S. because he didn't get a Classic winner, and then Fort Larned wins the Classic.
All right, well, this horse can take his talents really everywhere, and standing by with the winning connections, Maggie Wolfendale.
And here with winning owner Vinny Scuderi. And Vinny, Tale of Dubai here, convincing winner, had some early pace going back to some previous efforts, showed it here today. Now, as a claiming kind of owner, what did you see in this horse? I mean, his last 3 efforts weren't very claimable, but what did you see in him?
Well, the 2 before we claimed him, I thought he might have had an excuse. The day we claimed him and he ran that bad, I was a little bit afraid. And I told Michelle, you know, we can kind of go anywhere we want with this horse because after 3 races like that, we could be in trouble. But the horse had a lot of speed. Michelle did some great work with the horse. She was confident. She liked the horse right from the beginning. And this race came up, and it was a perfect spot for us to go in. We ended up, because of the scratches, being the clear speed. So I felt pretty confident coming into this race.
Good. Well, I hope you bet him too, 3-1.
I did. I would have been a little better if Rudy's course came second, but I did very well. Michelle gave me a lot of confidence going in.
She was. She's very happy after the win as well. And Vinny, I mentioned you as a claiming owner, but you also breed, and you've had a very nice mare as well, who's thrown Dad's Cabs, Paula Silver Lining. We're going to see the latest version in De Wizard making his 2nd start here Sunday. What can you tell us about him?
Well, we really like him. I think he's coming along well. He took a long time. It's been very hard. We've been very patient. Michelle's had to really, more than once, had to tell me to let's back off, let's back off. I think we have a nice horse. The only reservation is we got the rail, but we have Johnny V on him, so that should be an equalizer. And I think he's going to run real good.
All right, with 3rd place, first time out. Hopefully he gets to the winner's circle, and I'm talking to you again with the Wizard.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Vinny, well, nice catching up with you, and congratulations here.
Thank you very much.
All right, Gabby.
Thanks, Maggie. Well, it's not easy to be a successful owner, but he's a successful owner, breeder, better, everything.
Successful is a better right now,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Yeah. And he's a great guy. I mean, to know Vinny is to really like him. He's just terrific.
He really is. Very personable, too.
Absolutely. Well, it was an incredible meet here at Saratoga, a little bit farther upstate. We saw records breaking left and right. You can see it here, Saratoga by the numbers. The total handle up 4.5% from last year. It was an incredible meet year-round.
Well, when I look at it, and I'm trying to figure out what was the difference between last year and this year, it's very clear to me. Paula Duca.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Andy, for that. If there are people out there in MSG land and everybody else that's watching, I slipped Andy 100 for that. But yeah,
I sell myself very cheaply.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But to be honest, man, it was so much fun, and all you see there was well worth it.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great meet. It really was.
Well, talking about total attendance, that was up as well. All around an incredible Saratoga meet. We wanted to thank the fans. We have the best fans and the best memories in the sport. Here's another look back, though, at the Saratoga meet.
And they're off at Saratoga.
Ever had a horse finish a race with 5 shoes?
Forever Unbridled has defeated Songbird in the personal ensign.
He's been a slow learner, but his last time from the gate was very, very quick. Let's try to put him in the race in some way, shape, or form. Sit and see if we can't make a run in this group.
It's Jose Ortiz again. day, and what a ride in the nightcap on Tusk.
And this is the story of us. Astronomy matters in some way to each and every one of us here, and every single second of this day, we were able to be a part of it. That's pretty darn special, to say the least.
West Coast goes wire to wire in the Trevors. Voodoo Song's gonna win it and win it clear under the wire. Voodoo Song holds on. Voodoo Song to win it by a length and a half. Here comes the wire. Voodoo Song loves the spa. He won the Saranac. Lady Eli winning the Boston Spa. What a heroine she is. Quick is faster than them all. Gun Runner, very impressive in the Woodward. He won it by 8 lengths over Rally Crying and Neolithic in a final time of 1 minute 47.43 seconds.
Saratoga 2017!
Well, from Solar Eclipses to Lucky Horseshoes, it definitely was a memorable Saratoga meeting, and it was a memorable season as well for these three gentlemen.
I think one of the most impressive things was the way the Todd Pletcher and Chad Brown trainers battle went
cool.
from day 1 to day 40 with these two guys duking it out.
No, it was really cool. I mean, the weather towards the end, we got great weather. That was part of it, too. Tremendous. Mother Nature took care of us. The weather hurt Chad towards the end, but take nothing away from Todd winning the meet. It's just amazing, though, that Chad's won 80 races in the last few years, but kudos to Todd getting that title back. Like I said, it's good for racing. They're going to go back and forth for a while, these two guys.
Absolutely. I think that we saw more fun out of the jockey, but especially the trainers battle than we have in prior years.
Yeah. Of course, I couldn't agree with you guys more. Congratulations to all three of them for an incredible Saratoga meet. Well, it's been a benchmark year for jockey Johnny Velazquez. Not only did he win the Derby, but followed it up with a successful Saratoga meet. We'll check in with the Hall of Famer later on.
They're off.
Los Alamitos Racecourse congratulates all of the connections of Los Alamitos Derby winner West Coast for his sensational victory in the Grade 1 Travers Stakes at Saratoga. Since our first meet in 2014, many of the top stars in thoroughbred racing have raced at Los Alamitos. Who will be next? Join us for the Los Alamitos Fall Thoroughbred Meet. Opening day is Thursday, September 7th.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live as we're going to be getting to the 7th race momentarily. But, of course, you're watching Belmont Live, presented by Claiborne Farm. And Claiborne Farm showcases a roster of some of the best stallions in the industry. And, well, one of them is the sire Flatter, and he actually sired the Travers winner this year in West Coast, and what an incredible performance from this horse as well.
West Coast is putting himself in a position to end up being the leader of a muddled division, and if he can win the Pennsylvania Derby, he will do just that. But ifs in this crop so far have been many. Definitive performances have been few.
I think he's progressing at the right time, Gabby. You know, I know it was football. Opening season of football last night, he looks like a linebacker. He looks like he's getting bigger and stronger. He's going to be tough in the Penn Derby.
Agreed.
And leave it up to Bob Baffert to make things a little bit clearer in the 3-year-old picture. But there's a look at his sire, Flatter. And, of course, he produced 2 Grade 1 winners last year as well. And Taurus winning the Grade 1 Humana Distaff, and Paola Queen winning the Grade 1 test as well. His progeny has been incredibly versatile, producing graded winners on multiple surfaces and distances. So he does stand at Claiborne Farm for $35,000. And again, very versatile progeny. Well, we're approaching the 7th race today, and we head out to the turf course at 6 furlongs for this New York bred 2 other than allowance. And right now, the word is out on this 3-year-old filly past the Bourbon.
Is the word out, or did we all pick the horse?
Well, the problem is it says 117 is the weight it's carrying in the form. It doesn't include Godet, Leduca, Serling, and several other
everybody else
wise
who's
guys.
watching.
Yeah. Supposed wise guys.
Wow, 5-2. I didn't see this. The horse, you know, when you watch some of the replays, you can see, but he's getting bet in the multis too, Andy.
She'll probably be in the 4-to-1 range looking at the multi. She's about third choice, but really the difference between the 3, 6, and 10 is pretty slight in the multi-race bets.
And talking about the 10, well, Linda Rice sends out 2 fillies in here, and one of them being Start with Silver. What do you make of her, guys, out of that last race?
Well, I think it's interesting about both of Linda's horses. They're both good enough to win this race. She also trains the 6 barrier entry, but both of them seem to be a little camera shy. I mean, Start with Silver, it just feels like she's been a short price time after time in the last 7, 8 starts, and she just doesn't seal the deal.
We can see her on the inside. She's battling. I actually love that she battled back here, which was really weird here, and a lot of the other horses hung. She got beat by a decent horse. Fire Key was in giant form and proved it and beat both these horses. But I'm with you on both barrier of entry and Starts with Silver. I think they both need to be ridden perfect. I don't think she loves the winner's circle, but one of her wins was here.
And maybe on the outside she can get in a stalking position and let the race develop in front of her. I think one thing that Paul and I agree on with the 6 barrier entry, she's a horse with just 2 wins in 37 starts and 11 seconds. Send her to the front.
You know, the most confusing ride I've ever seen on a horse last time, it was almost to the point where Irad was like, I'm trying to invent this horse to get to the winner's circle. She's 2 for 37 with 11 seconds.
But
He's trying something new.
Can she outrun Buffalo Miss, the 5?
Yeah.
That's a good question. We'll find out in just a moment. But first, we head down to Maggie Wolfendale, who's standing by in the paddock. That's brought to you by Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future. Maggie?
Thanks, Gabby. And we'll check in with a filly who is second off of a layoff here, and that is number 7, Sister Sophia, making her second start for trainer Fernando Abreu as well. And Georgie Abreu, it's his brother. Looking at her, she's very, very fit, very well defined. One of the best times I've ever seen her appear in the flesh. And I like the fact she's relaxed, she's focused, because this is also a filly that in the past she's kind of run her races before going in the gate. She's just gotten too wound up, but I like what she's showing me here today as she gets to go the 6 furlongs. Now moving on to number 5, Buffalo Miss, for John Terranova. She made one startup at Saratoga. It was opening weekend, and she got the job done. Now she graduates to this level. This level, the waters can get a lot deeper in this New York bred non-2 for 40. Looking at her, I really like what I see though physically. She's forward, she's carrying great flesh. The problem is the front bandages do go on. And guys, this is a question for you. Is she the speed of the speed, and is there too much other speed to go with her?
Well, the 5 Buffalo Miss is fast, but barrier entry is also fast. But I think that Buffalo Miss is probably a horse that is more committed to going the lead.
I think it's a good call, yeah. That's the right call. I mean, like, Can Buffalo Miss win from off the pace? No. Can Barrier of Entry? Yes. Well, I mean, yeah.
At 2 for 37, it's a bit of a question.
Yeah, that's
but I
true.
agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what you guys are saying is that Buffalo Miss is a horse that needs the lead, whereas Barrier to Entry is more of a filly that can be a bit more tactical, maybe not successfully tactical.
Barrier to Entry can finish second on or near the lead. She doesn't need the lead to finish second. You know, I agree. The problem with Buffalo Miss is the 5. Is she good enough anyway?
Yeah, that's the key. I mean, Barrier Entry did beat her 3 back. But if they let her go by herself, maybe she can keep on going in here.
Not for me. Listen, she's a price. If you like Buffalo Miss, doesn't matter what we think up here.
Yeah, I think Eloise
but I just don't
putting
think
the blinkers on will stay a lot closer than you think. I just don't see the 5-wire in this group.
All right, well, we'll find out in a moment. But if you're a member of Naira Bets, you can hit the trifecta anywhere on the Laurel Park card today, and you'll split 500,000 Naira Bets points. This promotion is available every day in September. Check out this and all of the other daily promotions this month on NairaBets.com. And, well, that's the call to post there. So we'll get to the 7th race, and we'll bring you this post parade momentarily. We'll start things off with the one special dividend here. Kendrick Carmouche in the saddle for Chris Englehart.
Is a 1/2-to-1 turf winner. I feel like off of this extended layoff, this is a prep for a dirt race.
And the 2 Vicky's Dancer coming up next for trainer Steve Glaceris.
Well, I think an absolutely ridiculous price. I know she's 8, but she's got some turf races to go to. So at 14-1, I think she's a player in here.
Your current favorite is the 3 Paz the Bourbon for Mark Hennig, taking a cut back in distance.
She makes a lot of sense. She's been in paceless races going longer. She gets more pace going shorter or maybe a preferred distance.
And that's a look at the 4 at 9-1. Rockin' Alley for trainer Ray Handel.
Seems like she's better sprinting. That was a good race last time here at Belmont at 7 furlongs. She's getting bet today from 15-1 down to 9-1.
Buffalo Miss at 10-1, sent out for John Terranova.
She's the speed, but is she good enough?
Oh, looking at one of the 2 Linda Rice entrants, the 6 Barrier to Entry.
A lot of second-place finishes, 11. She's 0 for 35 everywhere else. Her 2 wins are here at Belmont.
Decent race last time out for the 7 Sister Sophia. Hopes to continue that momentum second off the layoff.
She's an interesting closer in this race at a price. If she gets the pace, she's second off the layoff.
And the 8 Eloise at 8-1, ridden by Rajiv Mirage for Pat Kelly.
Our blinkers go on. This horse that probably is going to like the cutback. The last 2 races going 7 furlongs, especially against Open Company, was not bad. 2 back behind Cherry Lodge.
And the other Linda Rice entrant, the 10 Start with Silver, will cap off the field.
Somewhat like the 6 Barrier to Entry. Doesn't like to get his picture or her picture taken that much, but she's going to be sitting close from the outside slot.
Well, maybe an outside post will help this filly. Andy, you took a look at this race. How are you going to bet it?
I'm going to bet the 3 to win. You know, I didn't think she'd be this short a price, but I still do like the 3. Paz the Bourbon, all the weight she's carrying or not. And I'm going to make an exacta box 3-8 as well, because I think Eloise is an interesting one. And at her price, she's not a bad win bet.
Well, you're talking about Eloise and standing by with that trainer, Maggie.
Gabby standing here with, yes, the trainer of Eloise, but also the trainer of Christie Cat as the namesake. Will be coming up in the next race, Pat Kelly. And looking at Christie Cat, Pat, I mean, she won nearly every single graded stake that we have on the turf for fillies and mares. She was quite something special.
She was one of the first special horses I had for Peter Schiff and Fox Ridge Farm.
And talk about some of those wins. You know, going back, you were talking about the Flower Bowl, how you won with Risk Averse as well, right, but also captured the Grade 1 Diana. I mean, those are staples here on the New York circuit.
Yes, we love to win at Saratoga, of course, but she won them all, and even I think she won at Aqueduct. Used to swing through at Keeneland in the spring and come up here when we had the Fort Marcy for the boys and for the fillies had a race. So it was nice filly.
Yeah, that was a bogey. And looking at current times, we also have another Fox Ridge Farm in Eloise. Adding the blinkers today, Pat, what was the thought behind that?
We're just trying to focus her a little bit more this year. When Rajiv rode her the last time, she didn't really want to go through on the rail, he said. He kind of thought he might have been second that day, so we talked about it. I didn't want to put her on it at the long race at Saratoga, and turned out that it was a little too long. So we turned back to 3 and hoping for the best today.
All right, hoping to concentrate her, get her to the 6 furlongs, and you'll be presenting the trophy for the Christie Cat coming up next. Best of luck.
Going to hang around for that, sure.
Good, Pat. Well, it's wonderful to chat to you, and we will find out as we are 5 minutes away from race number 7. The Ortiz brothers facing off with the same trainers' horses. Barrier to entry and starts with Silver. We're coming back. Stay tuned.
Shadwell Farm, home to world-class stallions, presents 2 young stars. Mo Heyman, undefeated 2-year-old, multiple graded stakes winner at 2 and 3. A dazzling son of Tappet, winner of his first 5 career starts, 4 in graded stakes. Grade 1 winner, Tamarcuz, winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. This son of Speightstown was a top international miler that earned over $1.8 million. Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future.
Change the way you watch racing forever with the new Naira Now app. Live racing in English or Spanish from a variety of camera angles, race analysis, and a multitude of on-demand content, all in high definition. Naira Now is available on many platforms, including iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, and more coming soon. Download Naira Now today, free in the App Store, and start watching the best racing like never before.
You're watching Belmont Park Live, and, well, the horses will be entering those gates in just a moment, but we still have a little bit of more time to get those bets in, guys. And, well, the 3 Paths, the Bourbon, the betting public is making your current favorite, but she's a versatile filly. She's won sprinting. She's won going long. Where is she best? Do you think this is the right spot for her?
I think she's best sprinting. And the truth is, if you take her race apart this year, she finished 3rd behind Epping Forest and Starts with Silver in her first start over 6-month layoff. Then next time, they stretched her out to Stallion Series races because she's eligible and the purses are good. She was going 7 furlongs. It was a crawling pace, so she was badly compromised, and she still just got beat a length and a half. And then she got another ridiculously slow pace going 2 turns, which probably not her strength. And she's run well in both those starts. Now she cuts back, but more importantly gets pace, Paul.
Yeah, that's the key. She's going to get pace to run into. She flew home in her start 3-back. She got sort of left against Epping Forest. She didn't get left. Well, she did. She got squeezed out of there, sort of pinched out of there. And then she rolled home. She got a tiny bit tired late because she had to make that giant move. You can see Maggie lands on the 7, who ran a good race last time against Fire Keys, a key race. But past the Bourbon, I don't know if she's fool's gold or not, but you know what? Her 3 races at Belmont have been good. She's got a win in 2/3, which is a plus in her corner.
I'm very interested in the 8 Ella Weasel. As Pat even sort of alluded to, Pat Kelly, when he talked to Maggie, maybe going a mile to 16th wasn't the best move. She's not a 2-turn horse. And if you look at some of the company she kept, she finished just behind Cherry Lodge and Rubelinda. Now, she was distant 3rd best that day, but those horses, either one of them would be well into the odds-on here.
Not awful.
And I think that less distance is more for her. She's faced better horses. She consistently runs solid figures, and she's 10-1 right now. To me, the 3 who I like is an underlay at 2-1, and the 8 is an overlay at 10-1.
See, I actually like where you're going. I did not use the 8, but if you look at the 2 races this horse had a run at Belmont, she didn't run bad. She lost to Louisville first, who's a nice little runner, and then First Charmer's okay, but she had inside slots. Maybe the outside slot will help her today where she can stalk, because the 10's a little bit faster than her, but she's getting the blinkers on, so you really don't know what you're getting there.
I think at the price she just went to 11-1, the 3's taking all the money. Paul, you like Vicky's Dancer.
I don't get this.
I don't love her, but 17-1's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. 2 back, she did not have a great trip. She was wide most of that way. She was not far back. She wired a field. I get it at Suffolk. I think she can use enough speed to stay close. She should not be 17-1.
I think both of the 2 and 7 are horses that can win this race, but they're both over bet. The 7 shouldn't be 4-1, and the 3 shouldn't be 2-1.
Well, it's definitely a competitive race indeed, and Linda Rice will send out 2 horses in here in the 6 barrier to entry, and the 10 start with Silver, and the 2 brothers, Irad and Jose Ortiz, will go against each other once again in this race as we load it up and send it up to Larry Colmus.
Here's Start with Silver coming up to the outside stall here to complete the line. Moves in. They're all in line. They're off. Buffalo Miss comes charging out of there with early speed. On her outside, it's barrier to entry. These 2 are 1 too early on. And then it's Start with Silver, followed by Ella Weasel, Vicky's Dancer on the inside, and Paz the Bourbon taken back between those 2. Barrier to entry is next. Then Special Dividend on the inside, and last of them all is Sister Sophia. So they're racing for the far turn. Buffalo Miss, fast from the beginning here, leads it by a length and a half. Barrier to entry second through a 22.29 first quarter. Start with Silver is third on the outside. Vicky's Dancer rides the rail in fourth. Ella Weasel is fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. Paz the Bourbon gets an inside trip 5 from the front, and then it's Ruck and Alley to the outside, Special Dividend and Sister Sophia at the back of the pack, and they're into the stretch. The half was 45.32, and on the outside it is Barrier to Entry who has grabbed the lead here, taken on by Vicky's Dancer, and on the far outside here comes Sister Sophia finishing with a strong rush in the center of the course, and she's blazing by the field. Sister Sophia runs them down from last to first to win it. Barrier to Entry was second. It was very close for third between Paz the Bourbon and Vicky's Dancer in 109.07.
Like an absolute rocket from last to first, Sister Sophia gets in front just in the nick of time here. Great call by Maggie Wolfendale.
We talked about the horses taking money in this race as well, and she was one of them, and she made the run. Paz the Bourbon kind of stalled in traffic and didn't get the clear run, and she was running too late, but this one was best for George Abreu.
I was counting my money at the top of the lane. I got a horse in front of me with 11 seconds, and the 2 looked like she got trip of life. It was a great ride, actually, by Jose Lozcano. Put her in the right spot. Well, look where the 7 is. Focus all the way on the left side of your screen. Wow, I'm surprised she just ran by them all.
But she's able to get that outside clear run, and you see Paz the Bourbon between horses, and you saw that the horse in the pink silks was drifting a little bit and sort of into her face. And I'm not saying the 3 would have won, but sometimes it's nice to make that outside clean run.
Yeah, it's true. And you want to sort of wonder, Gabby, like the 6, after watching the 2 hang and the 6 with 11 seconds, were they just sort of waiting for somebody to pass them?
6 finished where she likes to finish.
And Barrier to Entry, the number 6, you really couldn't have asked for a better trip.
No, that was a good trip.
No, he did everything right with her. She just likes to run second, gets her 12th second. Some horses are frustrating like that.
All right, well, that's the top 4 unofficial order of finish. The 7, Sister Sophia. And you guys said it. You had the nail on the head. This was a perfect drive by Joel Rosario. That's a picture for the show. And George Abreu does a fantastic job as well.
It's not... You know, it's not like she got a great trip. She's the only horse that made a big run, and she ran by everybody. It's not like the race fell apart.
No, she was the best horse.
She ran well.
Yeah.
Well, she had 1 race underneath her belt. Second start off of the layoff. She gets the victory. This is a look like at Smiling Causeway. She'll go postward in our feature race. She's had a lot of equipment changes lately, and we'll talk more about that next.
It's New York's easy goer in front. Here comes the Derby winner! Finds his way to the...
You're watching Belmont Live, and we just capped off race 7, but we still have more action to come, including our feature race of the day, the Christie Cat. But that's a look at the winner, the 7 Sister Sophia, second off the layoff for George Abreu, and a fantastic job there for this 5-year-old mare by Tail of the Cat. This is her performance, last to first, guys, like a rocket.
I think one of the things that Joel Rosario does as well as any other rider you see is be confident and comfortable sitting in the back of the pack and timing a move perfectly. We saw it with Forever Together when she won the Personal Ends in Saratoga. He doesn't panic coming from behind.
No, he doesn't. And sometimes he almost puts him to sleep a little bit when you're wondering, but he is the king of the last to first without the whip.
Yeah,
he's so strong. He reminds me of the late, great Garrett Gomez.
Official results stand there for the 7th race. The 7 Sister Sophia gets the victory. Nicely bred 5-year-old mare, and we'll head down to the winner's circle with the winning trainer, Maggie.
Thanks, Gabby. And here with Jorge Abreu. And Jorge, I'm sure we're going to talk to you a lot more, but Sister Sophia, huge last to first effort. Were you expecting that second off the layoff?
Well, I expected her to run this big because she came out of the race really well. And the first breeze back after the first race in Saratoga was really nice, and the second one was even better. She was coming up to the race the right way.
And for people who are not familiar with you, this is your first year training, correct?
Correct.
And you started with Chad Brown. You were his longtime assistant. You have a lot of your horses up at Saratoga. Just tell us a little bit about your stable, numbers-wise.
Well, right now I got 23 horses. I got like 10 or 12 of them that are running, and the other ones are baby. They haven't just got, coming back from the farm from having little issues like shins and stuff going on. So.
And it seems as though you're growing pretty rapidly. You're going to have stable here in New York and in Florida come this winter.
Well, because if I got the turf horses, it makes no sense to keep them here in the winter if they can run in the dirt, but looks that way.
Well, congratulations here with Sister Sophia. Very good-looking winner.
Thank you very much.
All right, Gabby, back to you.
Thanks, Maggie. Catching up with the winning trainer there. And Jorge Abreu, he's done well with what he's had. Obviously, this is a trainer who's had a lot of horses coming off lengthy layoffs.
Well, you take a big chance when you leave, especially an outfit like the Chad Brown barn, to go out on your own. And you're never going to hit the ground running, no matter who you are. But that doesn't mean you can't have a successful career, a very successful career.
No, hopefully his ears were open. That's just the bottom line. There's been a lot of guys that have been very good assistants as long as their ears have been open.
Well, the New York Racing Association is the industry leader in providing Spanish language content. Luis Granderson and Darwin Vizcaya provide both race calls and pre-race analysis every day, and you can check it out on the NYRA Now app, which brings you content all in HD. Here's a look at the hopeful last Monday.
2 cuerpos y medio, faltando 150. Sporting China mantiene el comando por 2 cuerpos con Luis Saez. Sporting China se está logrando ganar con Way Lucas. Se ganan de Hopeful. El segundo lugar va a ser ahí para Freed Up Billy. Tercera está finalizando. Give me a minute.
Kind of an eventful running of the Grade 1 Hopeful, as we saw there going in and out down the lane.
Professional, though, that Luis is, he didn't flinch when that horse drifted.
No, right? Grabbed the rein like a pro.
Absolutely. Here's a look at the 8th race. Of course, this is our feature race of the day, and we see Rubelinda opening up as your 1-2 favorite in here, and she's going to be probably a worthy favorite, guys.
Yeah, listen, I think she's going to prove very hard to beat. 1-2 might be a little overboard.
Yeah, I get where you're going. Listen, the talent's there. Her last race, I mean, it's ridiculous how talented she is. But she's running into horses that are multiple winners. That's where you can maybe say, okay, let's take a shot here. Epping Forest is a nice horse. But, yeah, Rubelinda could be any kind.
She could. But they're betting at a short price on the common. As you say, Epping Forest has already done some good things in the track as well.
Well, one of the horses she will have to go against is the one Smiling Causeway, and this was her performance last time out. Now, she started her career with the blinkers on. This was the first race that Arnaud Delacour, her trainer, took the blinkers off. So a lot of equipment changes in her most recent starts. What are blinkers and what do they do? We'll take a look.
With your current neighbor. A lot of times you see that equipment change, either blinkers on or blinkers off, denoted in the program or form. But let's talk about the different kinds of blinkers that we see. First, we'll begin with just a shortcut blinker, and hopefully my equine model here, Troublemaker, will behave. And this is just a shortcut blinker that just kind of focuses a horse's attention. Horses have that degree of vision where they can see all the way behind them, basically, and there's a narrow piece in front of them where they can't see until a certain amount of feet. So what this is doing is just blocking his vision from behind. So it'll encourage a horse to kind of focus and just run forward. Now these set of blinkers do have a hole here, so he can see a little bit of what's going on behind him, but it's just a kind of blinker that doesn't cause that much difference in a horse's running style other than to just focus. All right, now this is the next kind of most common blinker that you see. So it's a 3/4 cup. It's covering a little bit more of the eye. Once again, this one has a hole, so the horse can see a little bit behind him, but he's not gonna be able to see quite as much to the outside as either of horses kind of around him. So it's even more of a blinker to encourage a horse to go forward. All right, now this pair is called a full cup blinker. I mean, the horse cannot see anything to the side or behind him. So when these kind of blinkers go on, I think a lot of trainers are trying to elicit some speed from their horses. So it's just go and run as fast as you can. So they're not waiting on any other horses. They're not intimidated by any other horses running around them. And really, they're the pair that make them go forward in a quick kind of fashion. Now this is the type of blinker that, well, throws up some red flags occasionally. It's an extension blinker, so it's completely covering the right eye. Sometimes, and very rarely, you'll see it covering their left eye. But a lot of times it's for horses who want to lug out. You'll see that comment line, and maybe the next time they run, they'll have blinkers on and they'll have a set of extension blinkers on. And I don't like to see it because I think it's a Band-Aid covering up a bigger issue, but some horses, a few, respond well to it, and it encourages them to run in a straight line instead of lugging out or lugging in.
And luckily, we do not see Smiling Causeway wearing those extension blinkers, as her original pair will go back on. Just a short cup here on this filly, whom, if you watch her last race, it was on the dirt. She won, yes, but I'm still kind of wondering how comfortable she is over the dirt. Now, we saw that she was kind of looking up at the grandstand, but that was also the jockey trying to get her to switch to her outside right lead. She does favor her inside lead, and if you watch her last effort on the turf back at Laurel, while she looks more comfortable with the turf, she did the same thing. She switches back to her inside lead. I think it's a bit of a habit with her, but as far as the blinkers going back on, she is a very fast filly, and it's just a short cup, so it's not really encouraging her to go any faster. It's just encouraging her to focus here, Gabby.
Thanks, Maggie, and great stuff there with Smiling Causeway with the blinkers on, blinkers off, now blinkers coming back on. We'll see how that impacts her this afternoon. But that's a for Rubelinda. Well, she dazzled in her debut. She created a lot of buzz, too. She's her current favorite. Can she step up against Stakes Company today? We'll find out.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best.
Hi, I'm Todd Fletcher, and you're watching Belmont Park Live.
Welcome back to Belmont Live as we're taking a look at the infield. This show is presented by Claiborne Farm, 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. And you're just in time here as we get set and ready to go to bring you the feature race of the day, the Christie Cat. And guys, what a race it is. Again, I'm Gabby Gaudette, joined by the New York Racing Association's Andy Serling, four-time All-Star, Paul LaDuca, and we have a heavy favorite in here in Rubelinda. Of course, the word is out, talented filly, but a big test for her today.
It is a test. It's a serious field, and we think that she may be the only Frankel to win in the United States. Is that possible?
I think that is possible. We had Brooklyn Bobby, who's sort of disappointed a little bit, and then she was dynamite, like Gabby said, in her first career effort. She probably should be 2 for 2. She had a brutal trip last time.
She did, and the horse who beat her, Cherry Lodge, came back, and even though she didn't win the risk versus the favorite from the outside, she had that terrible trip. She kind of lunged the start. She blew the brakes. She lost the iron. She spun off to a big lead. Cherry Lodge is good, and this horse should have won the race. She's got to get it done, and she is a bit of a deeper closer, though. She showed much more speed in this race. She just was steady behind Eloise repeatedly on the backstretch.
Yeah, you make a good point. This horse has got more. She's got more speed than is on paper. Chad's trying to teach her to rate because he knows he's got something good. And I'm wondering if he's going to say, you know what, today, Jose, let her roll from the beginning. She's been scratched out of a couple of races. Both races she was entered, I think, in Saratoga, they were both rained off. I mean,
she didn't get in off the A's once, and she was rained off another time.
So I think maybe he's going to let her roll. And then when she gets let loose right here, like you said, Cherry Lodge is a quality horse, and she just couldn't run her down.
Because she just was in such trouble.
Yes.
The thing is, she's obviously not going to be near the front. But you'll see in her first start, she ended up so far back. She didn't break slowly. She took herself out of the race early. And that's what you see a lot of first-time starters do. They don't really know what's going on. She learned the game mid-race, and then she broke more sharply here. She was more forwardly placed, but she had the trouble. So she'll probably find herself 5 lengths or so off, what should be a fairly contentious pace.
All right, we'll see what happens. We'll check in with Maggie Wolfendale, another Paddock report here brought to you by Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future, Maggie.
And I'm sure we will see some speed here from this Christie Cat field. And Gabby, one that I don't think will is a turn back here, and that is number 9, Adorable Miss, as she comes from Gulfstream Park for trainer Todd Fletcher. Now, as an individual, I really like what I see from her. She's a solidly built filly. She has good energy here. And in regards to that turn back, usually they don't necessarily work, but given her physicality, I don't mind it. And we look at a filly who has those bigger hindquarters, that's built a little bit more downhill. So I think the 6 furlongs could very well be in her wheelhouse. Boy, she is certainly a solid looking filly. Now, the next 2 I'll talk about are just 2 that have made excellent impressions on me. They break right next to each other, and we'll start with the New York bred. That is number 6, Epping Forest, for trainer Christophe Clement. And I really think this filly, this daughter of Exchange Rate, is very talented. And each time I see her, it's hard to believe, but she really improves. Physically, she gets stronger. She gets more confident within herself. She has her neck arched. She has almost a cresty neck. She almost looks like a stallion as opposed to a 3-year-old filly. So I really like what I'm seeing from her. And same thing goes with the horse coming in off of a win, and that is Heavenly Score. She looks fantastic. Looks as though really John Terranova's hitting the peak with her. She's just coming out of each race doing better. That was evident in her last race up at Saratoga. We'll see how she negotiates the 6 furlongs here of the Christie Cat. Gabby?
Thanks very much, Maggie. And we do have several fillies who did compete against each other in the Coronation Cup. And the 5 Heavenly Score is one of them, and she has a victory in between. But what do you make of her?
I think they're both nice horses, and I think Epping Forest is the second likeliest winner of the race. The winner, Morticia, who I think is trying Kentucky Downs tomorrow, a race that we're, I believe, showing here actually on our show. She's a very nice filly sprinter, so I'm not against these horses. The one thing I'll say, it was sort of a bunched field behind Morticia, which doesn't really make me think the race was that strong behind the winner.
No, Morticia handled them pretty easily in here. And Epping Forest, it looks like she got left. She sort of just broke a little tiny bit flat-footed, and then she just took back. I thought she ran on well, but she was just no match for Morticia. you're going to need a little bit more kick today, especially over this racetrack. But you got to love that this horse has run well over 3 different surfaces.
Yeah, the problem is that they're all closers, and so is Rubelinda. Are they going to close better than she does?
Well, that's a good question. But so we were just mentioning Heavenly Score and Epping Forest. Out of that race, guys, who do you want?
I want Epping Forest. Oh, I like Epping Forest. I think she's good, and I think Christophe Clement deserves a win. He was unlucky in the 3rd race today. I watched a horse of his down at Kentucky Downs get a lousy trip. He's due a little good luck.
Well, we'll see what happens. Yes, they do have to close from off of the pace. And, of course, Rubelinda, your heavy favorite, is a closing sprinter in here as well. We also have the 9, Adorable Miss, in here. And she's a filly that's obviously very accomplished, but not accomplished at this distance.
It's such turf sprinting is so specific. Being good going longer in the turf in no way means you can do it sprinting.
Yeah, I don't know. 50 cents on the dollar at Gulfstream the Gulfstream Park. Dead
Doesn't
on the board.
transfer here.
No.
All right, well, you can start betting from home with a new Naira Bets account. Join today and earn $100 at their new member sign-up bonus when you enter live at sign-up. So go to NairaBets.com for more information on that. This post-braid is brought to you by OCD Pellets, celebrating their 10th anniversary of supporting the equine industry with their 2-in-1 bone and joint supplement. For more information, visit OCDPellets.com. We start with the 1 Smiling Causeway. Blinkers go back on for trainer Arnaud Delacour.
She's got to be the inside speed in this race. Is she good enough to wire them?
And the 2 Riley's Choice for Horacio de Paz and Sagamore Farm. Johnny Velazquez in the saddle.
Horacio's got great stats when he goes to turf sprints, 31%. This horse did not run bad in the lone turf start.
Big long shot right now at 22-1, trained by Alan Goldberg, the 3 Booze.
Is it Booze, or Booze? I can't quite think. It's what I'm thinking it is. She actually ran okay to win her last race against a decent enough horse. She'll have to improve.
And your heavy favorite right now at 3-5, the 4 Rubelinda for trainer Chad Brown.
A ton of talent here. She probably should be 2 for 2. Maybe not 3-5, but she's definitely the one to beat.
Long shot 2 at 22-1, coming off a victory at Saratoga is the 5 Heavenly Score.
22-1. She's not a terrible long shot. She's not an untalented horse.
Maybe one of the main foes in here is the 6 Epping Forest. Looks great for trainer Christophe Clement.
Yeah, 3-time winner. All 3 wins have been here, and Joel Rosario going to look for back-to-back wins.
Noble Freud made the surface switch successfully last time out, the other Chad Brown runner.
But she has to deal with the speed of Smiling Causeway. She has to get extra half furlong. She has to do it against much tougher.
And Adorable Miss, the number 9, is a stakes winner, but hasn't gone this distance.
We'll see if Todd Pletcher can get this one to turn back. It's not one of his strong suits.
And the 10 Tickled Pink rounds out the field for trainer Graham Motion.
Amy, call me crazy, but at 32-1, this horse has never really sprinted on the grass. And Graham Motion at 32-1, worth a flyer.
Competitive field there going postward for the Christie Cat. Well, Adorable Miss will be one of the horses to beat in our feature. She's already a stakes winner, but that was going 2 turns. Can she prove successful at 1?
Eclipse Award winner Blame retired to stud with more than $4.3 million in earnings, including a historic victory over Zenyatta in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now he's making a name for himself as an internationally successful stallion. In 2017, his top runners include stakes winner No Fault of Mine, Japanese star Resonator, and classic winner Singa, the dominant victor of this year's Grade 1 French Oaks, Blame at Claiborne Farm.
You're watching Belmont Park Live, and, well, that's Hall of Famer Ramon Dominguez. We know he can do it all. He does a lot of things. But is he going to become an assistant starter is the question.
I don't know. He appears to be good at texting right there. I can't tell if he's texting about it, but nothing Ramon would do would surprise me, and he would do it well.
He always got a smile on his face, man.
Good man.
Yeah.
Classy, humble, one of the best in the business no matter what he does, but surely one of the most incredible riders we've seen.
Really, just a magician on a horseback.
All right, well, guys, let's get back to the action. The Christie Cat, we're just 4 minutes away, and that's the 9, Adorable Miss for Todd Pletcher. Will she be successful on the turn back and distance?
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. And for Todd Pletcher, turning back from routes to sprints of 7 furlongs or less distance, he's just won for 30 over the last 5 years. And you almost wonder if it's like an experiment for Todd or a bit of a prep as well, and that she hasn't run in 2 months.
I think it's a prep. I just don't. Here's the thing. She's coming out of slow races, and I think these other horses are going to be way in front of her. Now, can she launch from way back and win this? Maybe she can. But she's not been around one turn. All of her races are 2 turns to start. I get it. She's winning these races, but she's 50 cents on the dollar for Todd Pletcher and Tyler Gaffleone. He's the leading rider in the whole nation. She's supposed to win those races.
Don't you think, though, her third place finish in the Penn Oaks, to be fair, 2 back, was a decent effort?
Because I like Party Boat. Party Boat's a good horse.
Party's a good horse.
Very good horse. But my thing is, you're running into Epping Forest, Rubelinda. This is...
Right.
No
she's not just turning back in distance. She's turning back against good horses.
Yes.
Well, we're getting closer to the end of the year, guys. Could this just be an opportunity for Todd to run her against strictly 3-year-old company?
That's also a reasonable point. Maybe it fills a lot of those companies. Running against 3-year-olds, see if she can sprint, but also use it as a springboard for a race like the Pebbles, which comes up in October at 1 mile for 3-year-old fillies.
Great point there. The 7, Noble Freud, though, this 3-year-old filly. So Chad Brown sends out 2. One's a heavy favorite, one is not. But Noble Freud, well, she successfully transitioned to the turf last time out, but a big, tough field today.
Well, there's actually a guy I could get into the boxing ring against and win a boxing match. That doesn't make me a strong or a boxer. She beat a much weaker field, and there's more speed in this race. How can she win here, Paul?
Well, I don't think she can win, but I'll tell you what, she was not bad last time. You're right. She doesn't win this race because she got the one puts the blinkers back on. They look like they get into a duel. But 2 back, she's behind American Gallon Vertical Oak. Bluegrass Flag is just one of the fastest fillies. She's not going to get in front of her. She might be faster than the 1 early. I get it. I don't think she wins the race, but she might just bury the 1.
And if nothing else, she's not going to hurt Rubelinda's chances because of her speed.
No, she's going to help, yeah.
Well, Horacio de Paz sends out the 2, Riley's Choice. She's a big price right now at 22-1, and she's never sprinted on the turf. Maggie, what do you think of her?
Well, Gabby, if you look at pedigree, you would say probably not sprinting on the turf, as she's a distorted humor out of a pleasantly perfect mare. But looking at her as a physical, as an individual, she certainly does have a turf hoof. And furthermore, she's built kind of in that downhill fashion where she might be okay turning back in distance. Also, it looks as though Horacio has her sharp and keen for this turn back in distance. So she's interesting. Look, she's a big price. She's going to have to run faster, obviously, but maybe one we can sneak into the exotics. Your current second choice is going to be my choice in here, and that is the other New York bred, as you guys are talking about, Noble Freud. But number 6, Epping Forest, I just cannot get over the way that she looked in the paddock, out in the track. It was much the same. And guys, she's 2 for 2 over this course, over this distance. But guys, do you have any reasons why number 2, Riley's Choice, could be a long shot to use?
I'm scared of anything Horacio de Paz runs. This guy did so well in Saratoga, and he had that turn back win. But I'll say something. When his horses ran well at Saratoga, they got bet, and she is taking no money.
That is true. That is true. When they get bet, they usually run. She's taking no money. I was trying to use her under the 4 and the 6 in here and the 10 because I really feel that those 2 horses are your long shots. I'm not in love with the 9, Adorable Miss. That horse can beat me for second or third.
I think the idea, you take 4-6 with 4-6 and then 4 with 6, and you try to get horses like the 5 and the 10 and
try
maybe even the 2 for third, because we're all against the 9 in that respect.
Of course, she's surely not impossible. Even the 6, Epping Forest, would you say out of the field, she's probably the main foe, though, to Rubelinda?
100%. Maggie makes a great point. She's 2 for 2 over this turf course. As another win at 5 furlongs when she was 2, and her third place finish was a good one, going a mile against Defiant Honor and Danceland. And we saw Danceland what she could do. So, yes, most definitely.
Well, Rubelinda dazzled in her debut, a troubled trip in her subsequent start. She's 3-5 right now. Can the heavy favorite deliver We'll find out momentarily as we send it up to Larry Colmus for the load and call.
Rubelinda is going to be the next one to move into the starting gate here. Remaining at 3 to 5 odds, she goes in. That's going to leave Tickled Pink to come up to the outside stall and complete the line. Tickled Pink and Junior Alvarado go in. They're all in line, ready for the start. They're off in the Christie Cat. And it is Noble Freud who goes out to the early lead in company with Smiling Causeway on the inside. And right behind them comes Tickled Pink. Epping Forest is up there too. And they're followed by Heavenly Score, Riley's Choice, shuffled back a bit, passed by Adorable Miss on the outside, and then Boost. And Rubelinda with her late running style trails the field 11 lengths off of Smiling Causeway, who completes the opening quarter mile in 22.48 seconds and heads for the far turn with Noble Freud 2 lengths behind and Heavenly Score in third. Tickled Pink is fourth on the outside by another length and a half. Epping Forest is next on the inside. Then Adorable Miss alongside of her. Break of another 2 to Boost. Then it is Riley's Choice. Rubelinda still dead last as they come to the top of the stretch. Hasn't passed a horse yet. They're turning for home here, and it is Smiling Causeway off the turn in front. Noble Freud. Now Rubelinda's been taken to the far outside. She's gone by a few. She's up into fifth, and she's coming now. It is Smiling Causeway. Smiling Causeway by 2. Adorable Miss. Rubelinda. Rubelinda now moves up on the outside into second. Can she catch Smiling Causeway? Smiling Causeway. Rubelinda flying finish. Oh, she got there. She got there in time from dead last to win the Christie Cat over Smiling Causeway and Adorable Miss in 108.69.
An incredible performance by Rubelinda, guys, who not only got left, but circled the field last to first. What a performance.
I don't want to go gaga over 4 to 5 shots winning, but geez, Paul, I mean, nobody else gained an inch of ground. They weren't going fast up front. She got left. She was dead last, top of the stretch. How much the best was she?
By far the best. I mean, the 6 Epping Forest tried to switch outside to get in front of her, and the 4 already had momentum. I told you, Larry better start calling her about right now. And this is what you love on a racehorse. Watch her. She goes back to her wrong lead here, Andy, but she's still trying as can be. This is a tough beat for the one who went to her wrong lead, got tired like the last 20 yards.
And I think all 3 of us were doing kind of a lean at the end to see if she would get there. She didn't just get there. She won by about a half length.
Here's a closer look at Rubelinda. Guys, her gait, it almost seems like she's just kind of lethargic at the back of the pack. But when the rider asks her to respond, look at that devastating kick down the stretch.
She's horses that come from way back are exciting by their very nature. But this is a seriously good horse.
No, it is. I mean, and you know what? Honorable Miss had been coming out of these longer races, and she just outfinished. This is just showing you the best horse. We've seen 2 horses on the turf course today, Gabby, that have circled the fields. It's the best horse.
And we did see the pace kind of hold together a little bit, guys, because Smiling Causeway was part of the pace. Here's the start, and she does not break well.
And, you know, it's almost like her first start. She only breaks a little bit slowly, but she just detached herself from the field in a hurry.
Yeah, this is difficult. Watch the 2 right here get steadied. I'll tell you what, the 2 runs a bang-up race here to run like 4th or 5th. But look where the 4 is. This is a difficult position when you're back there because there's just nowhere to go. Is he going to gamble inside? No, I'm 4 to 5. I got to go 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. I got to take the overland route. You're looking at this race going, I'm in deep trouble because you got a horse in Smiling Causeway who's pretty good horse.
So what do you think she came her last quarter in? They went 23.15. It's got to be under 22 or right around 22,
well, she came
right?
home and she
6, 7 lengths she picked up?
She came home below 12, I'll tell you that right now. 11 and change, easy.
Well, at 4 to 5, guys, she delivered to the hype. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll take a look at winner circle prices. But Johnny Velazquez had another outstanding Saratoga meet, and a year for that matter, and the 45-year-old is not done yet.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live, and another race in the books, race 8, the Christie Cat. And well, it was an important race as we saw Rubelinda make that last to first move in very, very impressive fashion. Guys, she was the favorite, and she delivered on all fronts.
Yeah, congratulations to Chad, Don Alberto stable, the daughter of Frankel, the great Frankel, invincible spirit mare. Rubina, probably why she gets her name. Wow, she was impressive today. You rarely see horses spot fields like this with multiple winners and run them all down.
And there seems to be some poetic justice in Chad Brown having the best Frankel to be running in the United States.
Absolutely, of course, coming up under the tutelage of the great Bobby Frankel. But standing by with the winning jockey, Maggie?
Yeah, here with jockey Jose Ortiz. That was aboard Rubelinda for the 3rd time in her career. And Jose, I mean, you go back and you watch her first race, and this race here going 6 furlongs, she unleashes some kind of kick at the end.
Yeah, she have a great kid from the Cuerpo home. She broke good today. I tried to roll her like her debut, but that day she broke bad. So I tried to take her back a little bit in the early stage and then let her do her thing in the clear in the end of it.
She seems like a horse that is fairly easy to ride in that she relaxes for you, and then when you ask her, she delivers.
Yeah, she relaxed going 6 furlong. You know, we got to see when she go a little farther because she kind of strong, but going 6 furlong when they go that kind of fat, 22.45 is easy.
Is that something that Chad has expressed to you, that he wants her to stretch out a bit?
I mean, she was going to stretch out in Saratoga, but the rain, it rained and he had to scratch and he ran today in the 6 furlong, but I think he will.
All right, well, job well done here with Rubelinda. Congrats on the Christie Cat.
Thank you.
All right, Gabby?
Thanks, Maggie. Of course, a big win for Jose Ortiz and the Christie Cat, but a big win at Saratoga as well, taking another jockey title. But it's interesting that he said, you know, she can be tough to handle, and the difference in what we saw Rubelinda last time out versus today.
Yeah, she's obviously young and has kind of inexperienced and figuring out her way. You got to imagine the pebbles at a flat mile here around the one turn, the Widener will be her next start. And she's an exciting horse.
She is an exciting horse. And let's be honest, I mean, she's maturing here and here. So we might be able to see her on Breeders' Cup Friday or Saturday. You never know. Jose Ortiz, no panic. She broke great. I mean, he said she broke great. She was 4 lengths behind the field. But, hey, he had a plan. He's like, I'm going to keep – he did mention, I'm going to keep her in the clear. She's not getting in trouble today, and that's what he did.
No, and she got that ability because they did go – she did get far enough behind the field. I'd like to see this start again. Sometimes they give that illusion of getting left, and they kind of take themselves out of the race. Maybe she didn't break that badly. We'll have to watch again. He's the rider. Who are we to argue with him?
Well,
who are we to argue with a rider?
Jose Ortiz,
I would never do that.
Unflappable as
True.
usual and absolutely composed from one great rider to the next. Talking about jockey John Velazquez, as he had a tremendous meet. Now, I know Irad and Jose surpassed him in terms of victories, but he was riding with far less mounts at the meet at Saratoga.
No, he did. You know, obviously the fact that Todd Pletcher won the title, that helps him. He rides a lot for Todd, but if Todd has a bad meet, he's going to look badly. If you look at it, he won 60% of his races for Todd Pletcher, so he won 18 races for other people. So he had a very good meet outside of Todd Pletcher as well, and that's important.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason, and they're at the point in their career when you look at some of these guys now. Here's Vertical Oak, one of his bigger winners in the prior race, and the one thing about Johnny is a little bit like Mike now, Mike Smith, and you refer to guys like him and Gary Stevens and Kent DeSormo, the older guys that have been around. They've done they're paid their dues. They're going to pick their mounts the way they are. They're not going to be the leading rider anymore. It's just the bottom line. Jose and Irad are going to ride those maiden 32,000s and get them home. Johnny V's not, just the bottom line, but he's still a world-class rider.
One of those wins, he beat Todd Pletcher in a stake race at the wire.
Well, we'll check out what's trending here, and this is a tweet from Lizzie. Noah going off to first grade, holding on strong to be both a jockey and a MLB player when he grows up. What do you think about that, Paul?
Well, Noah's a big fan of John Velazquez, and John's very nice to him as well.
That's actually pretty cool, man. And we always have aspirations. I did not think I was going to be a baseball player. I wanted to be a fireman. Worked out okay.
Of course,
still
that
be
was
a fireman, Paul. It's not too late, you know.
That was a retweet from Johnny Velazquez, and here's another one. Thank you, John Velazquez, excuse me. You made my sister's day, and of course, that's not uncommon for Johnny Velazquez. He's so affiliated with the community and, of course, his fans as well.
Yeah, and you see it from John and all the riders in Saratoga, the opportunity to mingle with the fans and to see them coming back. And it's such a nice part of the game and a special part of Saratoga.
Two best sports in the game, Gabby, horse racing and baseball, because you can touch the athlete. That's what I love about horse racing. Think about it. You saw at Saratoga these guys walking down the path. You're able to touch them. You're not able to touch LeBron James. Not happening. I get it. Different sources. People like horse racing, basketball. That's why I love horse racing and baseball, because you're able to see the athletes up close.
And my guess is when you played baseball, you probably stood around and signed as many autographs as you could with the kids.
You have to.
I'm sure you did. No,
you know what? Sometimes in life they don't want it. You better keep signing it till they do.
Absolutely. Great words to live by there. But, of course, to be a successful athlete, to be a successful jockey for that matter, you have to be passionate. You have to live and breathe the sport, and that's exactly the case for Johnny Velazquez.
I am John Velazquez. I am a professional jockey. I first knew when I wanted to be a jockey when I was around 7 years old. I definitely grew up around horses, loved the horses, loved riding the horses, loved to be around them. By the age of 14, I met a jockey, Julio Garcia in Puerto Rico, and that was my introduction to horse racing. I remember when I won my first Grade 1 here at Belmont Park on a horse called Turk Passer. It was an incredible race. It was a really soggy track. It was right on the grass, and one of those rainy days.
Turk Passer! Yes! He goes forward to wire! A cagey ride there by John Velazquez.
Just passing the wire first and getting that Grade 1 away from it, it was incredible to get it done. For a person like me, having such a successful career and not winning the Derby was definitely missing. So it was one of those races that it was missing for a long time, chasing it for 13 years.
But it's Animal Kingdom and John Velazquez to win the Derby!
To get it over with, it's definitely, it feels a big relief. What I love about horses is everything. Obviously, you have to love the horse first, and the racing is after. Being around the horses, being a companion, being surrounded, everything about the horses. They learn to do anything. I mean, just basically like people. It's just a pleasure to be around the horses.
Hall of Famer John Velazquez, you could clearly see that his love for the sport runs deep, and it absolutely shows when he shows up in the afternoon. Coming up next, we'll try to get out with the 9th and final race right after this.
Shadwell Farm, home to world-class stallions, offers 2 successful stake sires. Brilliant Miler, Daher, a consistent source of quality. Daher is the sire of black-type winners coast to coast. Grade 1 winner and millionaire, Albertus Maximus, winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile and Don Handicap. He is now siring black-type horses across the U.S. and abroad. Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future.
You're watching Belmont Park Live as we're getting ready to bring you the 9th and final race on today's show here. But first, wanted to remind everybody about the Naira Bet sign up. You can start betting from home with a new Naira Bets account. Join today and earn a $100 new member sign up bonus when you enter live at sign up. Getting the bonus is easy. Just bet $100 in 14 days and you'll get 100. NairaBets.com for more information. Well, Belmont Live is also brought to you by champion sprinter Run Happy. Run Happy won at 6 different tracks, scoring on both all-weather and dirt surfaces, all while racing 100% drug-free. Undefeated in sprint competition, Run Happy set the stakes record in the King's Bishop and went on to set the record at Keeneland, winning the 2015 Breeders' Cup Sprint. He's now standing at Claiborne Farm, one of the many tremendous stallions on their roster. We'll get set for the 9th race, and this is a nice maiden claiming event. 6 furlongs onto the main track, and we have the one Nicholas and Me guys opening up as your current favorite. First off the claim for Jeremiah Englehart.
Another horse with a person's name in it, getting a lot of money here. I like this horse, though. Gelded since it was claimed by Jeremiah Englehart. Chased 3 wide against a strong rail last time out and a pace that collapsed. Ran well enough first time at Churchill. My pick in this race, the 2-to-1's no bargain.
You want to know how big a scramble the race this is for the people at home? The 1 and the 8 are 2-to-1 and 9-2. They lost to a 99-to-1 shot last time, and they both cut shots here.
115-to-1.
Oh, 115-to-1. I apologize.
It's a game of specifics, and Andy definitely commented on that. Well, this is a wide-open board, a wide-open race, and for a closer look, we head down to Maggie.
And Gabby, we'll start with that new gelding down on the rail you guys were just talking about in number 1, Nicholas and Me, whom physically looks tremendous, like he did in his last start. And Maya immediately gelded him after claiming him. But from a mental standpoint, it doesn't look as though it's necessarily taken its effect, to be quite honest. He's still a little rambunctious here in the paddock, but physically he's probably lightened up a little bit. Look, he looks great in here. It's probably a very logical move with Nicholas and Me. Moving on to one that is coming back in here to New York, and that, okay, all right. That is Nicholas and Me, as you can tell. As I said, the gelding has really not changed his attitude whatsoever. So really, at a short price, that is something to keep in mind. He's probably acting worse than what he did up in Saratoga, to be completely honest. But moving on to number 10, that's Harlan's Vader for Kenny McPeak. Look, I see why they tried him on the turf. He actually does have more of a turf hoof, but the fact of the matter is, this is a claiming 20. I know he ran for a 16 at Suffolk, and he got beat. But, I don't know, he just looks good. I like the fact, I don't mind the fact, I should say, that he's sprinting back on the dirt here. And just one that kind of amongst these, from a physical standpoint, looks good. And I could give him a stamp of approval here, Gabby.
Thanks very much, Maggie. Excellent stuff there. The Paddock Report was brought to you by Shadwell Farm, building speed for the future. And, well, guys, the 8, Thaddeus, he was the morning line favorite, first off the claim for Dave Canizzo. What do you do with this horse? At least he has speed, right?
Yeah, he was on the rail, the good rail, while the one Nicholas and Me was 3 wide last time, so I'd take that against him. And you can't with this stat for Dave Canizzo, Gabby. That's hard to argue against. His numbers off the claim are just not good.
6%, huh? Tough read. It really is a tough read between the 1 and the 8 because they both ran into a pace where, like I said, Perplex ran up the inside at 100-some-odd-to-1 and beat him. So what do you do? I mean, who gets to the front end here? Because the horse that gets to the front end might be tough in here.
So one of the things that I'm getting from you, Paul, whether right or wrong, is you're kind of against the horses coming out of that race because the big price won it, even though it was slop. I'm just asking.
No, I'm not, because when you look at the other horses in here, they're not much. I mean, the 7 was 50. I mean, the 7 has not been under 40-to-1 in the last whatever start. You keep going. The 6, I cannot believe, is 12-to-1. I don't know where people are going on there, but I think people are trying to reach because they're seeing all that.
Well, the 3 is kind of an interesting new face in here, Beltany, because Beltany only ran once on the dirt and was heavily favored at Laurel, but a maiden special weight. Didn't run terribly, didn't run great in there. Then they tried the turf. Maybe the drop down and getting back to a surface that he handled first time will work against this field.
I like him. I think he's the horse to beat. I think the blinkers come off. You know what? His race, it says rank. I don't think he was ranked. He was shying away from something, but he did pass some other horses. Did he get passed by other horses yes, but he showed the ability to pass a little bit, showed a little bit of speed. I thought his dirt starts were better than his turf starts.
Well, I guess that's the question, is he's a horse that's been forwardly placed. Can he successfully rate in a field that really has maybe one or two speed types in it?
That's a very good question, because he does seem to want to have speed, and he seems to just tire. For people wondering, his trainer Ronnie Breed is the assistant to Tom Morley, who's serving a suspension.
The thing about this race, there's one horse in here that's passed a horse. That's the 10, but the horse was on the turf course. I mean, you can who passes a horse here could be key.
I think the 10 Harlan's Vador is a very interesting horse. Speaking of going back, because this is another horse who's never raced in a maiden claiming race on the dirt. The maiden claiming races he's been on have been on the turf. So maybe he was just in too tough when he was running on the dirt.
And maybe he's learned a thing or two in the time being, but he's 9-2 right now. Guys, this could go anyway. When you approach a race like this, do you kind of weigh the speed types a little bit more heavily?
Well, I like the 1. I didn't think he'd be favored. I think the 10 is reasonable at 9-2. I would try to beat the 8 and use the 1 and 10 and use bombs like the 4 and 6 behind them.
Throw darts.
There's the call to post here,
anyway.
and we'll start things off with the 2 if he does get to the outrider there. The 2, great going. He's a long shot, guys, but he comes in off of a bullet workout.
Another horse. I get it, 32-1 first time out, but why 14-1 today? I'm against.
He'll be warming up there shortly as we take a look at the 3, Beltony for Ronnie Breed.
Getting back to the dirt, his only dirt effort was against maiden special weights, albeit out of town.
And the 4, Competitiveness, first off the claim for trainer Gary Gullo.
Now, I can see this horse getting bet. Was wide last time, even from the 1 slot, and as a first-time gelding, so 7-1.
All right, 7-1 right now. There's the 1, Nicholas and Me, another first off the claim for Jeremiah Engelhardt.
Jose Lozcano's going to have to come barreling out of the gate with a horse who was wide against a good rail last time.
Prost is a long shot here, cutting back in distance today for Leo Giramati.
Yeah, you're right. Cutting back from a mile-8th win, he was dead last. He's really going to have to improve today.
And an even bigger long shot, 34-1. 0 for 17 is the 7, Dublin Express.
He'd be quite a shock if he got the job done here.
And Thaddeus at 7-2, first off the claim for Dave Canizzo. Paco Lopez will ride.
You know, they dropped for the $20,000 tag. I know it was on a sloppy racetrack, but did not do much running. He's going to have to try to get to the front end, but the 1 could be a thorn in his side.
Well, maybe we could see this race go to a first-time starter, and that's the 9, Buntline Special.
No money for this firster, but is one of only 2 horses covered in the pick 6.
And the 10, Harlan's Vader, taking a switch from turf to dirt for Ken McPeak.
You know, the blinkers helped this colt last time out, and like I said, this is the only horse that's ever passed a horse, so if it breaks apart, look for the 10 late.
All right, well, that's the field here as we are 6 minutes to post, but looking at the 8, Thaddeus, first off the claim for trainer Dave Canizzo. Well, as a subpar effort last out, put a different surface, different barn, maybe that will help. Up next. Welcome back to Belmont Park Live as we are 4 minutes away from bringing you the 9th and final race today. But first, if you can't catch Belmont Racing live, you can always catch replays as well as live streaming and expert analysis videos on demand, all in HD with the NYRA Now app. It's available for download on Apple and Android devices, Chromecast and Roku. And best of all, it's free. Go to the App Store and download it today. All right, guys, we'll dive back into this last race and the for competitiveness. First off the claim for Gary Gullo. He's only had one try. That's maybe a good thing in this race.
It was back in April. It was 5 months ago. He dueled with the eventual winner of that race, Mahalo John, who was a heavy favorite. The second-place finisher, Killybags Captain, is actually not a bad horse who came back to win next time for John Terranova. Now, he was a first-time starter coming out as a 3-year-old for Chad Brown. He kind of only got bet, I think, because of the connections much more than anything else, because he really didn't do any running.
He didn't. He tried to run up the rail, and then Jose just backed out of there. He didn't have enough horse to go through the rail. I think he's going to show a little bit more speed in this race because there's just enough speed in here. He's going to make it. I think Gabby hit the nail on the head when we were in commercial break. I think all of these guys are going to be sending. It's going to be very, very crucial who gets to the front end. That horse is going to be tough.
I respect competitiveness, though, because of Gary Gullo, if nothing else. I mean, he's a very, very sharp trainer. He's an under-the-radar guy. I think he won 4 races up in Saratoga with about 20 starters. That is a very hard thing to do with a guy who mostly is a claiming trainer. Gary Gullo is just a good trainer.
But if you look at the 4, right, the horse is getting bet. I could work some of those works. 43 for 3 furlongs? That's a real work?
I couldn't do the 40. I couldn't do 43 for anything.
I mean, to me, it's showing that it's working slow in the morning. I love when they work slow in the morning. That's why I think the 4 is dangerous.
Well, I mean, some guys just don't really work them that hard. David Jacobson doesn't work them that hard. We'll see. I mean, I think he's kind of an all-or-nothing proposition.
Yeah,
maybe he'll run well, and maybe he just can't run at all.
All right, well, maybe Maggie can shine a light on the for competitiveness. Maggie?
Well, Gabby, as Polly was saying, they're very slow works, and I don't mind the time. It's just the spacing of them. They're pretty spaced few and far between with the horse coming off of a layoff. So you could take that as kind of a negative sign. But physically here on the track and in the paddock, he was fit. He is also a new gelding as well for this second start, the first one for trainer Gary Gullo. And really, I didn't mind him in his first start of his career. Same thing goes here. It's just kind of, this must be a horse with some issues, hence the late start in his career, hence the layoff now between first and second starts. It's just, can he be fit enough to take down this maiden 20 field? We'll take a look at number 8, Thaddeus in here, who shows up for the 20 again. He was disappointing last time out as he took that big drop, but that was a sloppy track. Let's forgive him for that. Once again, he looks good here. He's a bigger, stronger looking type as he goes first off the claim for trainer Dave Canizzo. In the past, he has gotten washy and very hot. That's not the case here once again, so we'll see. I think he's a logical kind of short price horse as well in the face of number 1, that's Nicholas and me. Gabby.
Thanks, Maggie. And yes, the 8 Thaddeus. This is a horse who's gone against completely different competition. Obviously, he dropped in class last time out, but a sloppy track. We're talking about a horse who's run against the likes of Phi Beta Express, Emancipation, some good quality horses.
I'll tell you, his race 3 back against Emancipation was actually pretty good. And that was a monster pace that fell apart. He was right there until a stretch. He only lost by 6 lengths. The real question is, why did Robert Falcone and the Connections drop him in for 20 last time out?
So
that's the big question.
That is. You make a good point because the Phi Beta Express, Tommy T came back to run giant.
Yep.
You talk about the Emancipation. Marshall Plan has been a horse been touted. He's run a couple good seconds or thirds for Kieran McLaughlin. You know, Andy's right. That horse runs the second race or third race back. He wins this race by 4 or 5.
It's a joke what he does, especially 3 back. He would crush this field, but that drop is what worried me.
Well, we had seen Robert Falcone Jr., the previous trainer of this horse, kind of take an aggressive approach at Saratoga and realistically placing his horses. Could that be a reason for it? Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Everybody wants to win in Saratoga.
When it's called the money drop. When you drop all the way down to the bottom level, you're supposed to run better than 6.
That's the other thing is, even though he was involved in the pace, he was on the best part of the racetrack, and he completely stopped in there. So I would, if he won the race, I might want to take your point of view. He ran so badly, you think it might be something else.
Yeah, that's a very good point. All right, well, they're starting to load into the gate. We have a lot of changes here, a lot of first-time geldings, a lot of new trainer changes as well. We'll see how it all unfolds as they load into the gate, and we send it up to Larry Colmus for the call.
Competitiveness will be the next one to come up to the starting gate, and that will leave Harlan's Vader to complete the line. Harlan's Vader steps up and in. They're all in line. They're off. Beltany comes out sharply. Right alongside Competitiveness with Early Speed 2. Outside of them, Thaddeus up and on the pace. Nicholas and B is down on the inside. Then it's Prost in 5th, followed by Dublin Express. Great going to the inside, and 4 lengths back to Buntline, Special, and Harlan's Vader. So they're racing for the far turn. And it is Competitiveness and Thaddeus locked in battle. Dublin Express to their outside. They went 23.08 for the first quarter. Break of another 2. And then it's Nicholas and Me on the inside. Prost running along in 5th. Beltany 6th on the inside as they make their way around the far turn. Great going goes 3 wide and is starting to go by horses. A long way back to the trailers. Buntline, Special, and Harlan's Vader, and they're coming toward the top of the stretch. Competitiveness and Thaddeus. Thaddeus on the outside to the front. Competitiveness back into second. Great going down the center. Continues to gain with Dublin Express. Now Dublin Express is taken third. That's Nicholas and Me, rather, who has now moved up on the outside up into second now. It is Thaddeus in front, though. Nicholas and Me on the outside closing in. It's these two. It is Thaddeus and Nicholas and Me down to the wire together. Thaddeus and Nicholas and Me. And then it was Competitiveness and Beltany.
Well, that was a close finish indeed to liven the spirits here for the nightcap. It's either between the 8 Thaddeus or the 1 Nicholas and Me, but maybe the 8, guys?
Yeah, I think, and we'll see the slow-mo of this, but it feels like the 8 probably held on to get it done. The 1 had his chance to get there, Nicholas and Me, who I liked in here. But Thaddeus at least was dueling and got it done. I think,
we'll see. Andy, you got the bob after the wire. Ooh,
yeah,
wow, it's wicked.
Right after the wire.
Right after the wire. You were in front. You were never in front. You were in front right after the wire.
Did they pay after the wire?
No, they don't.
We'd be rich.
I know, right?
After the wire.
The 1 just really couldn't get out in time for a little while, and you can see Paco sort of had him pinned for a little bit.
How about the money the 1 took?
Wow.
The 1 went as high as 4-1, went down to 7-2 and 3-1, and ended up the 8-5 favorite.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right, well, there's a closer look here at the finish. The 8 is in front here. The 1 is rallying. Ugh.
I don't think he got there.
I don't think he got there. It's a tough angle from what we got.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a jump after the wire, the 1 is by him. But, yeah, it's 8-1-4. And the 4 did run a little bit better on the front end there. But a good job by Paco to sit and wait. He kept Nicholas and Me locked in just long enough.
And a carryover in the pick 6 of 24,400.
Well, it seemed like Paco Lopez was riding this horse pretty confidently, but really he was just waiting to not make the lead a little bit too soon.
I would think so. I mean, there's the win photo right there.
It's not even. It's like a mile.
Yeah,
we've got beaten much worse ones than that.
I think we might need glasses, guys, as that was a pretty clear cut with the 8 Thaddeus. We'll get you results and prices after this, but coming up tomorrow, we'll take a look at one of the most vibrant personalities in horse racing. We'll dive into the life and success of Ken Ramsey.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best play.
You're watching Belmont Park Live, and that's a look at a happy jockey, trainer, horse. First off the claim, straight into the winner's circle, and it was down to the bob, the bob to the finish.
Bob of the head.
There we go.
It's been a long summer.
8-1, but pretty clear cut there.
Yeah, it's, you know, in horse racing, close is close.
Yes.
And that seems close, but the people have been around the game a long time, so that close. And I guarantee one thing, Dave Canizzo knew he had it the whole way.
100%. It don't matter if you win by 8 or win by a no. It's just like a home run. You hit it 301 feet or 501 feet, it counts the same.
Absolutely. And the winning conditioner, Dave Canizzo, I believe he's standing by with our friend Maggie Wolfendale.
And Andy, as you correctly predicted, never lacking confidence is Dave Canizzo here. You knew you had it.
He's an okay horse. We put him where he could win, spotted correctly. It worked out well. Just happy to be home.
Yes, we're all happy to be home in our own houses, that's for sure, as you have a young family. As I do too, I know how that feels. But you're a very busy man up at Saratoga. This was just one of the several horses you picked up out of the claim box.
We did a lot of shopping up there, trying to get ready for the winter because that's our time to make money and be aggressive, and it started off good.
Are you going to be a guy who keeps all your horses here in New York, or are you going to send some strings up elsewhere?
We got a lot of turf horses, so it's something to be decided later, but my heart and I'll be in New York for most of the winter.
Exactly. Well, Dave, congratulations here in the last. Thaddeus to the winner's circle. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good way to start the meet.
That it is. Getting off the duck early here at Belmont, it's always a good thing, right, Gabby?
Absolutely, Maggie. You want to get off the duck from the get-go. Really, any meet you're running at, right?
Yeah, it's always nice to win. And that was a very humble Dave Canizzo.
Yeah, right?
It really was. Not the Dave Canizzo we know and
Maybe he's tired
love.
from Saratoga. From the trek back downstate. We'll see. All right, well, the Naira Betts Late Pick 5, of course, is back at Belmont's on the weekends this September, and there's a huge 10 million point giveaway. Hit the Naira Betts Late Pick 5 through your account and score a 1.25 million point hit or split each day the bet is offered. Visit nairabets.com for more information. And look at that, guys. Well, we've got a Pick 6 carryover, $24,000, and that will take place races 5 through 10.
Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow's card. The weekend cards here at Belmont are very, very strong. You know, it always, sometimes you think nostalgically, you think they were better last year. I think they're better this year.
Well, if you look at the Naira Pick 5, I mean, you got 8 in the first race to 12. Now, Far From Over is probably going to be a heavy favorite in the Seattle Slew, but wow, races 9 and 10 are tough. 9's really tough.
9's a stake race masquerading as an allowance.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that a little bit later on, but, well, the Seattle Slew Stakes is a feature race tomorrow as we look back to the 1978 Marble Cup when Seattle Slew beat Affirmed. More after this.
Grade 1 winner Data Link by world-renowned sire Warfront. Data Link scored in the prestigious Grade 1 Makers 46 Mile at Keeneland. Then set a new course record in the Grade 2 Monmouth Stakes. With a pedigree free of Mr. Prospector in the first 4 generations, Data Link is the perfect outcross option. His first weanlings turned heads, selling well above the stud fee. Data Link at Claiborne Farm.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live. Of course, tomorrow's feature race of the day is the Seattle Slew Stakes, and we just took a look before we went to break at the 1978 Marble Cup. That was the first time we saw 2 Triple Crown winners face off.
I actually missed that Marlboro Cup. I had gone to the prior two and was sorry to miss it. But it was so long ago that they used to give out free cigarettes for the Marlboro Cup at Belmont when you came here, and that was 40 years ago.
Yeah, and that's about 2 years after that they started taking the Marlboro Man out of every minor league stadium at one time. You know, the Marlboro Man, if you hit it off the Marlboro Man, you got a free steak back in the day.
Well, it was interesting. It was obviously a television deal to show it, and I believe they had to call it the Cup. And 1984, I think, was its last run, maybe 85, but they had to refer to it as the Cup because there was no more cigarettes allowed to be advertised on TV. But it was a great idea. It started out with Secretariat beating Riva Ridge, actually. It was a 3-year-old and setting a world record for a 1 1/8 here. I saw the third running of it when Wajima beat Forgo in a great battle. Ancient Title was third. Foolish Pleasure was in the race. Really an incredible race.
So the moral of the story, you've been around for a while.
I'm old, right?
All right. Well,
don't mention my age, Gabby.
I will not. But speaking of sticking around, you can keep playing at home through NYRA Bets with some great bonuses on California racing at Los Alamitos. If you hit the early pick 4, which starts in race 2, you get a 10% winner's bonus. Then for a 500,000 point all split, just place a $10 exacta bet on race 5. Winner you lose, you'll split 500,000 points. Visit nyrabets.com for more information on that. Tomorrow, guys, we've got a big show lined up. Not only do we have the $100,000 Seattle Slew Stakes, but we're also bringing you races from Kentucky Downs. We'll be showing you the Ladies Turf and the Kentucky Downs Ladies Sprint, and we'll show you it all from 4 to 6 p.m. tomorrow.
I love Kentucky Downs. They run for 5 days every September. They get big fields, fun racing.
Yeah.
Can Miss Temple City get back on track? Obviously, she was a sensational filly last year. You know, she just hasn't gotten it together, but she's only had the 2 starts in 2017, one at Ascot.
She's a multiple Grade 1 winner. And by the way, she's beaten the boys a couple times. Twice, yes. Both at Keeneland. And I'm with Andy here. For a lot of people that don't know about Kentucky Downs, it's the most unique course or courses or turf course in North America. Undulations. It's a little bit like European racing. So it'll be a lot of fun for us to handicap for you guys at home. And, yeah, she's even money on the line.
She's going to be very hard to beat in this field. And hopefully she will get back on track. I imagine Graham Motion must be thinking the Matriarch, which she won last year, she'll try to go back out to California for that. And who knows, maybe he wants to take a shot in the Breeders' Cup.
Linda's pretty good. The 2 in there. She's a good horse.
And Zypessa is in there as well. She's the second choice. But Miss Temple City, as you said, Kentucky Downs, it kind of simulates a little bit of European
it's a lot of fun.
Racetracks, which might actually help her.
It's such a fun meet. I hope people get a chance to look at the races. There it is. We had a great promo on NYRA Bets, but you missed the first 2 days to get involved. But I've been playing Kentucky Downs religiously.
Well, it's going to be a great day. We'll be bringing you both of those races, of course, headlined by Miss Temple City. We also have our feature race at Belmont. That is the Seattle Slew Stakes. But today, well, Rubelinda, she created the buzz first time out after a troubled trip and her subsequent start. She delivered on the goods today. Rubelinda was a heavy favorite, but an impressive winner in the Christie Cat, taking her talents from last to first here with jockey Jose Ortiz in the saddle. This beautifully bred filly by Frankel. She definitely delivered. We'll see you tomorrow.
Download the new NYRA XP app today and enhance your on-track experience. With this state-of-the-art app, you can buy, manage, and sell tickets, find your seats, take a virtual tour of the facility, contact guest services and security, and much more. Also within the XP app, fans can access race replays, live racing, and video-on-demand content, or open a NYRA Bets wagering account to place bets from your mobile device. Download the NYRA XP app now to enhance your on-track experience at Belmont Park and Saratoga.